The coffee was cold when Lieutenant Jake Morrison finally stopped working. He looked at his watch and realized it was 3 in the morning. Around him, the research station on Europa was quiet. Most people were sleeping. Most people had given up weeks ago. Jake was not most people. He stood up from his desk and walked to the window. Outside, the ice fields of Europa stretched forever under the stars. Jupiter hung in the sky like a huge painted ball. It was beautiful. It was also very far from Earth, very far from the war. The war had started 6 months ago. The Vekar Empire came to Earth and made a simple demand: join their empire or die. Earth said no. The Vekar started killing. Earth fought back. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier fought. It was not enough. The Vekar had been fighting wars for 1,000 years. They had destroyed hundreds of worlds. Earth was just another target on their list. Jake had been a pilot. He flew ships for the Earth Defense Force. He was good at it, but 6 weeks ago his commander sent him here to Europa. Not because Europa was safe, because Europa had something important. A secret that might save everyone or kill everyone faster. Jake was not sure which. The door opened behind him. He turned and saw Dr. Linda Green. She looked tired. Everyone looked tired these days. "You are still awake," Linda said. "So are you," Jake replied. "I got a message from Earth," she said. Voice was quiet. "The Vekar fleet is moving toward the inner system. They will reach Earth in 4 days. 4 days. Jake felt his stomach drop. 4 days and then Earth would be gone. His parents lived in Chicago. His sister lived in Tokyo with her 2 kids. All of them would be dead in 4 days. "What about our defenses?" he asked. Linda shook her head. "We have maybe 50 ships left. The Vekar have 3,000. It will not be a battle. It will be an execution." Jake looked back at the window. At the stars, at Jupiter. "Then we need to finish this," he said. "Jake, the device is not ready. We have done 12 tests, all 12 failed. If we try to use it now, it might not work, or worse, it might work too well." The device. That was why they were here. 6 months ago, a mining team found something under the ice of Europa. Something old, something not human. At first, people thought it was just ruins from an old alien race. But when scientists started studying it, they found something amazing. It was a weapon, but not a normal weapon. It did not shoot bullets or lasers. It changed things. It changed the rules. The device could connect minds, not control them, not read them, just connect them. Let them share ideas, feelings, and knowledge instantly. The aliens who built it were gone now, but they left this machine behind. Earth scientists spent months trying to understand it, trying to copy it, trying to make it work. They failed every time. The technology was too advanced, too different from anything humans understood. Then Linda had an idea. What if they did not try to copy it? What if they just tried to use it? The original device was still working. It was old, but it still had power. Maybe they could turn it on and use it themselves. The first test almost killed everyone in the room. The second test made people sick for days. The third through 12th tests did nothing at all. "If we do nothing, Earth dies in 4 days, Jake said. "If we try and fail, Earth still dies in 4 days, but if we try and succeed, maybe we can save them." Linda walked to the window and stood next to him. For a long time she said nothing. Then she took a deep breath. "The problem is scale," she said. "We can make it work for small groups, 5 people, 10 people, but to connect everyone on Earth, everyone in the fleet, that is billions of minds. The device was not built for that. It might break. Or it might connect everyone so strongly that they lose themselves, stop being individuals and become one big mind." "But it might work," Jake said. "It might work," Linda agreed. "Then we try," Jake said. "We call everyone together, we tell them the truth, we let them decide." Linda nodded slowly. "I will send the message." 2 hours later, every person on the Europa research station was in the main hall. There were 43 people total. Scientists, engineers, pilots, and support staff. They all looked scared. They all knew about the message from Earth. Jake stood in front of them. He was not good at speeches. He was a pilot, not a politician, but someone needed to talk and Linda asked him to do it. "You all know the situation," he started. "Earth has 4 days, maybe less. Our fleet cannot stop the Vekar. Our weapons cannot hurt their ships. Every defense we have tried has failed." He saw people looking at the floor, at each other. Anywhere but at him. "But we have one option left," Jake continued. "The device we found, the alien machine. Dr. Green thinks we can use it not to build a weapon but to connect all of us, every human. Let us share our knowledge and skills instantly." A man in the back raised his hand. Gary Peterson, one of the engineers. What does that mean? Connect us how? Linda stepped forward. Imagine you are fighting someone, she said. And suddenly you know every fighting technique that every human has ever learned. Every pilot can fly like the best pilot. Every soldier can shoot like the best soldier. Every engineer can fix things like the best engineer, all at the same time. That sounds amazing, someone said. It sounds dangerous, said someone else. It is both, Linda admitted. We have tested it 12 times on small groups. We know it can work, but we have never tried it on a large scale. When we activate it for everyone, we do not know exactly what will happen. People might stay as individuals, or they might merge together into something new. The room was very quiet now. So we might lose ourselves, Gary said. You might, Linda said. Or you might become more than you are now, we do not know. Jake looked around the room. These people were scientists. They understood risk. They understood probability. They knew this was dangerous. We are asking for volunteers, Jake said. We need to test this one more time before we try it on Earth, a bigger group than before. If it works, we send the plans to Earth and they can try it there. If it fails, well, at least we tried. For a moment, nobody moved. Then a young woman stood up. Her name was Kelly Hughes. She worked in communications. My family is on Earth, Kelly said. My mom, my dad, my little brother. If there is any chance this can save them, I will do it. Another person stood. Then another. Within 5 minutes, everyone in the room was standing. Jake felt something tight in his chest. These people were afraid. He could see it on their faces, but they were also brave, braver than they knew. Thank you, he said quietly. They moved to the lab where the alien device was kept. It did not look like much. Just a smooth black sphere about 2 meters wide. It sat in the middle of the room on a metal stand. Wires and cables connected it to human computers. The scientists had spent months studying every part of it. The device was warm to touch. It always was, like it was alive somehow. Linda went to the control panel. Everyone needs to stand in a circle around the device, she said. When I activate it, you will feel something. It will be strange. Do not panic. Do not fight it. Just let it happen. People formed a circle. Jake stood between Kelly and Gary. His heart was beating fast. He had flown into battles before. He had faced death before, but this was different. This was facing the unknown. Ready? Linda asked. Nobody said yes. Nobody said no. They just stood there waiting. Linda pressed the button. At first, nothing happened. Then Jake felt a tingling in his head, not painful, just strange, like his thoughts were moving faster than normal. Then he felt Kelly, not heard her, not saw her, felt her. He could sense her fear and her hope, her love for her family, her determination to save them. Then he felt Gary. Practical, logical Gary who always double-checked everything, who loved his work but missed his wife back on Mars. Then he felt everyone, all 43 people in the room. Their thoughts did not merge into one. They stayed separate, but Jake could feel them all, know them all, understand them all, and they could feel him too. Someone laughed. Jake was not sure who. Maybe everyone. It felt wonderful, like being alone his whole life and suddenly having a family. A huge family that understood everything about him and accepted it all. It works, Linda said. Her voice sounded different now, richer somehow, because Jake could hear not just her words but the joy behind them, the relief, the pride in her work. Everyone try to think about your skills, your knowledge, see if you can share it. Jake thought about flying. He had flown ships for 8 years. He knew every control, every trick, every emergency procedure. As he thought about it, he felt the knowledge flowing outward. And at the same time, he felt knowledge flowing in. Suddenly, he knew how to repair a fusion reactor. Gary's knowledge. He knew how to write complex computer code. Kelly's knowledge. He knew medical procedures, engineering techniques, physics theories, combat tactics. All of it flowing into his mind from 42 other people. It should have been overwhelming, too much information. But it was not. His mind organized it all perfectly. Because it was not just his mind anymore. It was connected to 42 other minds all working together. This is incredible, someone said. This is terrifying, someone else said. Both were true. Jake could feel both emotions in the group, excitement and fear, hope and doubt, all at the same time, but the fear was getting smaller, because when you could feel everyone's emotions, it was harder to be afraid alone. Can we disconnect? Gary asked. His voice was shaky. Linda went to the control panel. Let me try. She pressed another button. The feeling faded, not all at once, slowly, like walking away from a warm fire. Jake could still sense the others, but it was weaker now, distant. Then it was gone. He was alone in his own head again. It felt cold, empty. Around the room, people were touching their heads, looking confused, like they had lost something important. "We can turn it off," Linda said. She sounded relieved. "That is good. It means people have a choice." "Turn it back on," Kelly said. Linda looked at her. "What? Turn it back on," Kelly repeated. "Please, I want to feel that again." Others nodded. Jake nodded too. He wanted it back, that feeling of connection, of not being alone. Linda pressed the button again. The connection came back, stronger this time, maybe because they knew what to expect now, maybe because they wanted it more. "This is what we can give to Earth," Jake said. He could feel everyone agreeing with him. "This is how we fight the Vekar, not with bigger guns. With better coordination, with perfect teamwork. But we need to test it in combat," Gary said. "We need to make sure it actually helps in a real fight." Jake thought about that. Testing in combat meant finding a fight, and there was only one fight happening right now. "The Vekar fleet is coming to Earth," he said slowly. "But there are Vekar ships everywhere in the solar system, small groups, scout ships, patrol vessels." "You want to attack them?" Linda asked. "We have 3 ships here at Europa," Jake said. 2 cargo ships and 1 patrol boat, not much. But if we are all connected, if we all know how to fight perfectly, maybe it is enough. Through the connection, Jake could feel people thinking about this, considering it. He could feel their fear, but he could also feel their determination. They had families on Earth, friends on Mars and Venus and the Moon. Everyone they loved was going to die unless something changed. "There is a Vekar patrol ship near Ganymede," Kelly said. "I picked up their signal yesterday. Just 1 ship with maybe 20 crew. 20 trained Vekar soldiers against 43 humans who have never fought together," Gary said. "Bad odds. But we are connected," Jake said. "We can coordinate perfectly. We can share every skill, every idea. We can think and move as one unit while still being individuals. The Vekar have never seen anything like that." "It is still very dangerous," Linda said. "Everything is dangerous now," Jake replied. "Earth dies in 4 days. We can hide here and die with them, or we can try something crazy and maybe save everyone." Through the connection, Jake felt the group coming to a decision. It was strange. Nobody voted. Nobody argued. They just all understood what needed to happen. They were going to fight. The 3 ships launched from Europa 6 hours later. Jake was flying the patrol boat. It was small and old, but it had weapons. Linda was on 1 cargo ship with half the group. Gary was on the other cargo ship with everyone else. The alien device was still on Europa, but its range was huge, miles and miles. As long as they stayed in the Jupiter system, they could all stay connected. Jake could feel everyone on all 3 ships. He could feel their nervousness, their excitement, their fear, but mostly he felt their determination. The Vekar ship was exactly where Kelly said it would be. It was bigger than their patrol boat, much bigger. It had better weapons and better shields. In any normal fight, it would destroy all 3 human ships easily, but this was not a normal fight. "They are scanning us," Kelly said from the cargo ship. Through the connection, Jake could see what she was seeing on her sensors. The Vekar ship had detected them. It was turning to face them. "They are hailing us," someone else said. "Ignore it," Jake said. Through the connection, he shared his plan with everyone. Not with words, just with thoughts and feelings. Everyone understood instantly. The 3 ships spread out. The cargo ships went left and right. Jake went straight forward. The Vekar ship fired at him. He dodged, not because he was a great pilot, because 43 minds were helping him predict where the shots would go. The cargo ships fired their small mining lasers, not at the Vekar ship, at the space around it, creating clouds of debris and heat that confused its sensors. Jake fired his real weapons through the clouds. The Vekar ship tried to dodge, but it was too slow. The shots hit its shields, not enough to break them, but enough to weaken them. Through the connection, Jake felt Gary having an idea, a way to overload the Vekar shields using a feedback loop. Gary shared the idea. Kelly improved it. Linda calculated the exact timing needed. Someone else identified the weak point on the Vekar ship's hull. All of this happened in seconds, faster than normal communication. Faster than normal thinking, because it was not 43 people thinking separately. It was 43 people thinking together. The 3 ships moved in perfect coordination. Every movement was planned 3 steps ahead. Every shot was aimed at exactly the right moment. The Vekar ship tried to fight back, but it could not predict what the humans would do next, because the humans did not know what they would do next until they did it. They were improvising, all of them, at the same time. The Vekar ship's shields failed. Jake fired again. This time the shot went through. It hit the engine section. The Vekar ship stopped moving. For a moment everyone was silent. Then Kelly started laughing. Then everyone was laughing. They had done it. They had actually done it. The Vekar crew is evacuating, Gary said. Life pods heading away from the ship. Let them go, Jake said. We proved what we needed to prove. They had proven that connected humans could beat Vekar soldiers. 43 untrained people in old ships had destroyed a Vekar warship without losing anyone. We need to send this to Earth now, Linda said. Send them everything, how the device works, how to build it, how to use it, everything. Kelly was already working on it. Through the connection, Jake could feel her excitement, her hope. Message ready, she said. Sending now. The message went out, all the data, all the plans, everything humanity needed to save itself. Now they just had to hope Earth could build the devices in time. Hope they could connect everyone. Hope it would work on a scale no one had tested yet. Hope that humanity's last stand would be just their opening move in a much longer game. Jake looked at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Vekar fleet was coming. 3,000 ships ready to destroy Earth. But Earth had something now. Something the Vekar had never seen before. Earth had humanity working as one. And that might just be enough. The message from Europa reached Earth in 42 minutes. General Patricia Hayes was in the command center when it came through. She had not slept in 3 days. Nobody in the military had. The Vekar fleet was getting closer every hour. She read the message once, then again, then a third time to make sure she understood it correctly. An alien device that connected minds. A test battle won against impossible odds. Plans to build copies of the technology. Instructions for activating it across all of humanity. It sounded crazy. It sounded impossible. It sounded like their only hope. Patricia called an emergency meeting. Within an hour, the most important people on Earth were gathered in a secure room deep under Geneva. Scientists, military leaders, politicians, all of them looking tired and desperate. This could work, said Dr. Raymond Clark, head of Earth Science Council. He was studying the data from Europa on his tablet. The theory is sound. The test results are promising, but building these devices in 3 days, that is almost impossible. Almost impossible is better than completely impossible, Patricia said. What do we need? Raymond pulled up a list on the main screen. Materials we have. The alien device on Europa can be copied using human technology, but we need thousands of them. Maybe tens of thousands. One for every ship, every military base, every city. And we need them all working together. Can we do it? Asked President Maria Santos. Raymond looked at the numbers again. If we use every factory on Earth, every 3D printer, every manufacturing facility on the Moon and Mars, if everyone works without stopping, we might build enough devices in 70 hours. The Vekar arrive in 96 hours, Patricia said. That gives us 26 hours to distribute the devices and teach people how to use them. That is not enough time, someone said. It is the time we have, Patricia replied, so we make it work. The meeting lasted another hour. Decisions were made quickly. Every factory was converted to produce the connection devices. Every scientist was pulled into the project. Every engineer started building. Patricia returned to the command center. She had a different job now, preparing the military for something they had never done before, fighting as one connected force. She sent orders to every ship, every base, every soldier. Get ready, something is coming, something that will change everything. Across Earth, factories roared to life. Machines that normally made cars started making connection devices. Printers that normally made tools started making connection devices. Even small workshops started producing parts. On the Moon, the mining colonies stopped mining. They started building instead. On Mars, the same thing happened. Every human in the solar system was working toward the same goal. 60 hours passed. The first batch of devices was ready. They were small, about the size of a cell phone, simple to use. You just turned them on and stayed within range. Patricia held one in her hand. It was warm, just like the original alien device. She could feel a faint vibration, like it was humming with power. We need to test it, Raymond said. He was standing next to her with his own device. Make sure they work like the original, Patricia nodded. Turn it on. Raymond pressed the activation button on his device. Patricia did the same. For a moment nothing happened, then she felt it, that same tingling in her head that Jake and the others described, that sense of another mind nearby. She could feel Raymond, his nervousness, his excitement, his hope that this would work. She could sense his thoughts about his daughter who lived in Beijing, his wife who died during the first Vekar attacks, his determination to make this count. And he could feel her too. She knew he could. It was strange and wonderful and terrifying all at once. It works, Raymond said softly. It works, Patricia agreed. She turned off the device. The connection faded. She was alone in her head again. It felt wrong somehow, like losing something precious. We need to prepare people, she said. This is going to be shocking for many of them, feeling other minds, sharing thoughts. Some people will panic. We should send out information, Raymond suggested. Videos explaining what it feels like. What to expect, how to handle it, Patricia nodded. Do it. We have 30 hours before the Vekar arrive. Every person needs to understand this technology before then. The videos went out across all channels. Every screen on Earth showed the same message. This is how we survive. This is how we fight back. This is how we win. People watched. Some were excited, some were afraid, many were both, but everyone understood. This was humanity's only chance. The devices were distributed. Military units got them first, then emergency responders, then civilian volunteers. Within 20 hours, millions of people had the devices. Within 24 hours, nearly everyone on Earth who wanted one had received it. Patricia stood in the command center looking at the map. The Vekar fleet was 12 hours away now, 3,000 ships, maybe 50,000 soldiers, all coming to destroy Earth. Earth had 53 ships left, maybe 5,000 trained soldiers. 10,000 civilian volunteers. It was not enough, unless the connection made them enough. General, we are ready to activate, said Commander Kyle Brooks. He was in charge of the fleet, what was left of it. Not yet, Patricia said. We activate when the Vekar are close. We want to surprise them, let them think we are beaten. Then we show them what we really are. Kyle nodded. Through the video link, Patricia could see the tension on his face. He knew this might not work. They all knew it. 6 hours until contact, someone announced. Patricia sat down. There was nothing to do now but wait. Around the world, people were waiting too, in their homes, in shelters, in bunkers deep underground. Everyone knew the Vekar were coming. Everyone knew this might be the last day of human civilization, but everyone also had hope. Because of the devices, because of the connection, because maybe, just maybe, humanity had found a way to fight back. 5 hours passed, then 4, then 3. The Vekar fleet appeared on the sensors. 3,000 dots moving toward Earth, moving toward home. 2 hours until they are in weapons range, Kyle reported. Send the signal, Patricia said. Activate all devices, full connection. The signal went out, across Earth, across the Moon, across Mars and the asteroids and every ship in space. Millions of devices activated at the same moment. Patricia felt it happen. One moment she was alone. The next moment she was connected to millions of minds. Billions of minds. Every human who had chosen to join the network. It should have been overwhelming, too many voices, too many thoughts, but it was not. Her mind expanded to handle it, or maybe the network helped organize everything. She was not sure which. She could feel soldiers on the front lines, nervous but ready. She could feel civilians in shelters, afraid but hopeful. She could feel engineers working on last-minute repairs. She could feel children wondering what was happening. She could feel everyone, and they could feel her determination, her strength, her absolute refusal to let humanity die today. Through the network, she felt a wave of agreement, of solidarity, of unity. Billions of people thinking the same thing at the same time. We will survive. The Vekar are hailing us, Kyle said. His voice sounded different now, richer, because Patricia could hear not just his words but his confidence, his belief that they could actually win this. Put them through, Patricia said. The screen changed. A Vekar commander appeared. The alien looked like a giant insect with too many arms. Its voice came through the translator as a series of clicks and whistles. Humans of Earth, your resistance is over. Surrender now and some of you may survive as servants of the Empire. Refuse and we will destroy every living thing on your world. Patricia smiled. Through the network, she felt billions of humans smiling with her. "We have a counter-offer," she said. "Leave our system now and we will let you go. Stay and you will learn why you should never threaten humanity." The Vekar commander made a sound like laughing. "Brave words from a dying species. We have 3,000 ships, you have barely 50, we will sweep you aside like dust." "Then try," Patricia said. She cut the connection. Through the network, she felt everyone getting ready, ships moving into position, weapons charging, shields activating. But it was not random, it was coordinated. Perfect. Every ship knew exactly where every other ship was. Every pilot knew what every other pilot was planning. Every gunner could predict where targets would be before they got there. The Vekar fleet attacked, 3,000 ships firing at once. It was beautiful and terrible. The sky lit up with weapons fire. The human ships moved, not away from the fire, through it, weaving between shots with impossible precision, because every pilot was the best pilot now. Every navigator was the best navigator. Every tactical officer was making decisions with input from billions of minds. Patricia watched the battle unfold on the tactical display. It was like watching a dance. The human ships moved together like schools of fish, turning, diving, spinning, always exactly where they needed to be. The Vekar ships were bigger, stronger, better armed, but they fought as individuals. Each captain made their own decisions. Each crew worked alone. They could not predict what the humans would do because the humans were improvising constantly, creating new tactics every second and sharing them instantly across the entire fleet. The first Vekar ship exploded, then another, then 3 more. Through the network, Patricia felt surprise from the Vekar. They had not expected this. They thought Earth was defeated, broken, easy to destroy. They were wrong, but the Vekar were not stupid. They adapted, changed their formation, concentrated their fire. The human fleet started taking damage, ships falling back, shields failing. Through the network, Patricia felt fear, not from the soldiers, from the civilians, from people watching the battle on screens, watching humans die, but she also felt something else: determination, anger, a fierce pride that humanity was fighting back, that they were not going down without a fight. Someone in the network had an idea. Patricia was not sure who. Maybe it came from multiple people at once. The idea flowed through the network. Everyone considered it. Everyone improved it. Everyone agreed. The human ships changed tactics. Instead of fighting the Vekar fleet head-on, they started targeting specific ships. Not the biggest ones, not the most dangerous ones. The communication ships, the command vessels, the ones coordinating the Vekar attack. It worked. Without coordination, the Vekar fleet started to falter. Ships fired at the wrong targets. Formations broke apart. Captains made mistakes. The human fleet pressed the advantage. 50 ships fighting like one organism. Every movement calculated, every shot precise. Every tactic shared instantly across everyone. More Vekar ships exploded. Patricia counted them: 10, 20, 50, 100, but humans were dying too, ships destroyed, crews lost. Patricia felt every death through the network. Felt the moment each person disconnected. Felt the grief of their friends and family. It hurt. It hurt so much. But the network did not break. If anything, it grew stronger. Every death made the survivors more determined, more focused, more united. The battle continued. Hours passed. Patricia lost track of time, lost track of everything except the flow of information through the network. Tactical data, emotional support, shared knowledge, ideas flowing like water. The Vekar fleet was retreating, not all of it, not even most of it, but parts of it, ships breaking away, running. They had come to destroy Earth and found something they did not expect: resistance, unity, strength. The Vekar commander appeared on the screen again. The alien looked different now, less confident, more cautious. "This is impossible," the commander said. "How are you doing this? How are you coordinating so perfectly?" Patricia smiled. "We are not coordinating, we are connected. Every human in this system is linked. We think together, fight together, win together." "That is cheating," the commander said. "That is evolution," Patricia replied. "You wanted to conquer us, you thought we were weak. You were wrong, now leave our system or we will destroy every ship you have." Through the network, Patricia felt billions of people agreeing with her, supporting her, adding their strength to her words. The Vekar commander was silent for a long moment, then it spoke. "We will withdraw, but this is not over. The Empire will return with more ships, more weapons. You cannot win forever." Maybe not, Patricia said. We will win today and tomorrow and every day after that because we are humanity and we do not give up. The Vekar fleet turned, slowly, reluctantly, but they turned, they left, not all of them. Some stayed to fight and were destroyed, but most of them retreated, jumped to hyperspace, fled. Earth had won. Through the network, Patricia felt an explosion of joy, relief, celebration, people crying, people laughing, people hugging strangers, all of it flowing through the connection, all of it shared. But she also felt sadness. For the people who died, for the ships that were lost, for the price they had paid. Victory was not free, it never was. Patricia stood up, her legs were shaking. She had been sitting for 6 hours, fighting for 6 hours, connected to billions of minds for 6 hours. Should we disconnect? Raymond asked. He was still there, still connected, still part of the network. Patricia thought about it. Through the network, she could feel the question spreading. Millions of people wondering the same thing. Should they disconnect? Go back to being individuals, go back to being alone. The answer came from everywhere and nowhere, from the network itself maybe, or from the collective wisdom of billions of minds. Not yet. We stay connected, Patricia said, for now, until we rebuild, until we are safe, until we know the Vekar are not coming back. Through the network she felt agreement, but also questions, concerns. What would this mean for humanity? Would they ever disconnect? Could they? Should they? Patricia did not have answers. Nobody did. This was new territory. Humanity had become something different, something more. They were still individuals, still unique, still themselves, but they were also connected, part of something bigger. The days after the battle were strange. People went back to their lives, but everything was different. Workers could feel the satisfaction of other workers. Teachers could share lessons instantly with students. Doctors could consult with specialists without speaking. Artists could inspire each other just by thinking. Some people loved it. They had never felt less alone, never felt more understood. They had spent their whole lives isolated in their own minds. Now they were part of something beautiful. Some people hated it. They felt invaded, exposed, like their privacy was gone. They wanted their thoughts to be their own again. The network allowed both. People could disconnect anytime they wanted, turn off their devices. Alone. Many did, at least for a while, but most came back, because being part of the network felt right somehow, like finding a missing piece of themselves. 2 weeks after the battle, Patricia received a message, not through the network, through normal communication channels. It was from the Galactic Council, a group of alien species that governed much of the galaxy. They wanted to meet, to talk about Earth, to discuss what humans had become. Patricia traveled to the council station in a human ship. Kyle went with her, so did Raymond, so did a dozen others, representatives of the new humanity, but they were all still connected to Earth, still part of the network. When Patricia spoke, she spoke for billions. The council chamber was huge, filled with aliens of every shape and size. Some looked almost human, some looked like nothing Patricia had ever imagined. All of them were staring at the human delegation. "Welcome to the Galactic Council," said a being that looked like a floating jellyfish. Its voice came from a translator. "We have heard about your battle with the Vekar Empire, about your new technology. We have questions." "We will answer what we can," Patricia said. "How does it work?" another alien asked. This one looked like a pile of rocks somehow held together. "This connection of yours, how do you link so many minds without losing individuality?" Raymond stepped forward. "The technology is based on quantum entanglement. Each device creates a field that links consciousness without merging it. People stay themselves but can share information instantly." "And anyone can disconnect?" the floating jellyfish asked. "Anyone, anytime," Patricia confirmed. "It is voluntary always." The aliens discussed this among themselves. Patricia could not understand most of the languages, but she could sense their emotions through their body language: curiosity, concern, fear, wonder. Finally, the jellyfish spoke again. "The council has a decision to make. Your species has changed. You are no longer what you were. Some of us believe you should be welcomed. Others believe you are dangerous, a threat to the natural order." "We are not a threat," Patricia said. "We only want to survive, to live in peace." "But you could be a threat," the rock creature said. "If you chose to be, your coordination is perfect. Your adaptation is instant. You could conquer other species easily." Through the network, Patricia felt billions of humans rejecting that idea. They did not want to conquer anyone. They just wanted to be left alone, to rebuild, to grow. We have no interest in conquest, Patricia said firmly. The Vekar tried to conquer us, we defended ourselves, that is all. What about sharing this technology? Another alien asked. Would you give it to other species? Patricia paused. Through the network, she felt people discussing this, debating, considering, should they share? Keep it secret, offer it freely. The answer came quickly. Humanity had always shared knowledge, it was part of what made them human. We will share it with anyone who wants it, Patricia said, but only on one condition: it must be voluntary. No species can be forced to connect. No individual can be forced to stay connected. Freedom of choice is essential. The council discussed this for hours. The human delegation waited patiently. They were not alone. They had billions of people connected to them, supporting them, giving them strength. Finally, the jellyfish returned. The Council has decided Earth will be recognized as a sovereign system. Humanity will be granted provisional membership in the Council. You will share your technology with interested species under the conditions you specified. Patricia felt relief flood through the network. They had done it. Earth was safe. Humanity was recognized. They had a future. Thank you, she said. Do not thank us yet, the jellyfish said. The galaxy is watching you now, watching what you become, what you do with this power. We hope you will use it wisely. We will, Patricia promised. Through the network, she felt billions of people making the same promise. They would be responsible, they would be careful, they would be better. The meeting ended. The human delegation returned to their ship. As they left the station, Patricia looked back at the council chamber, at all those alien species, all those different minds. Maybe someday they would all be connected. Not just humans, everyone, every species working together, thinking together, building something better than any of them could create alone. It was a nice dream, maybe an impossible dream, but humanity had already done the impossible once. Through the network, Patricia felt hope. Not just her hope, everyone's hope. Billions of minds dreaming the same dream, believing in the same future. They had thought the battle with the Vekar was humanity's last stand. A desperate final attempt to survive, but it was not the end, it was the beginning. The opening move in a much larger game. Humanity had changed. They were no longer millions of individuals struggling alone. They were billions of minds working together, still unique, still free, but connected in ways that made them stronger than they ever imagined. The Vekar had wanted to destroy Earth. Instead, they had forced humanity to evolve, to become something new, something powerful. Something that would change the galaxy forever. Patricia smiled. Through the network, billions of people smiled with her. The future was uncertain. There would be challenges, problems, conflicts, but they would face them together, all of humanity working as one. Not a hive mind, not a collective, but a network of free individuals who chose to connect, who chose to share, who chose to be more than they were alone. That was the real victory, not defeating the Vekar, but discovering what humanity could become when they stopped fighting each other and started working together. The ship jumped to hyperspace, heading home, heading back to Earth where billions of connected minds were waiting, ready to build, ready to grow, ready to show the galaxy what humanity truly meant. Their last stand had been just their opening salvo. The real fight was just beginning, but it was not a fight against enemies. It was a fight to become better, to reach higher, to achieve things no one thought possible, and through it all they would be connected. Billions of minds, one humanity, infinite possibilities.